So please welcome Łukasz Dzikan and Adam Kurdeczka from FinAi.
Hello everybody, it's better now? Okay. So we're FinAi. It's a relatively new company, 6 months, 7 months now from founding. And we raised a quite large seed round recently. And we're going to be simplifying the finance world actually. And we're not a competition to banks, but actually enablers. So they will tell you about how to build a data-driven culture from day one, because it's not really easy stuff. I worked like 7 years in consulting, and it's really hard. And tell you about emotions when taking a loan. And Adam?
I will introduce myself. My name is Adam Kurdeczka. I work with Luke for about 3 months in FinAi. However, we have worked with each other for 9 months in PwC, in data analytics team. And I'm a physicist, and I'm due to be a physicist. I'm finishing physics at Warsaw University. And we will also tell you about, not only about FinAi itself, but also about the study that we have conducted on emotions that people feel actually when taking the loan. So we will continue.
So what's up with the AI, right? Everybody's doing AI now. It's like everybody. So that's Gartner, right? Everybody knows Gartner. We're in the peak of the hype cycle. Data is solving all problems, fevers, curing cancer and stuff. So yeah, AI is the Wunderwaffe who will like solve every problem, right? Humans will not be really needed anymore. But really, is someone making money out of this? Like maybe someone's profiting without giving much value about it. So we're very like rudimentary about AI. Like if you do it right, it actually will give you money, but it costs you a ton of money, like really a ton. So what does it mean to be data-driven? Let's start with like basics, right? There are a couple of myths, and you'll see on pitches all the time that data-driven, machine learning, we solve like hard problems with data, blah blah blah. But really, like when you sell to like enterprise clients, they say, "Oh, did data science return any investment?" Or I don't really trust those ML people. They're a bunch of nerds. They don't know anything about my business. They have not had like 20, 30, 40 years of experience, and I have it. They confuse data science and data-driven culture with technology. It's not technology. Technology is a small part of it. And they think that analytics and AI is good for internet companies, but I'm doing, like concrete. How can concrete be connected to analytics? And that's another pretty common situation. Highest paid person opinion. So we show them all the data and facts and everything, but they say, no, it's B, actually, I like it more, it's more colorful and shit. So it's really hard to overcome that. And, unless you have a strong support on a C level, that's like actually data-driven, not protecting its own vested interest. And it's might be hard to be data-driven, to be honest. So from day one, yeah, it was actually part of our pitch to investor. We are culturally data-driven. So actually we got higher round because I said we need 4, 7 people in the beginning, the data science team, and every decision will be made based on actually data, right? Unless there is no data available, then we go to that field. So it's not a software. We use some open source software, some we paid, but vendors like Microsoft, Oracle, SAP will tell you it's software, bro. SAP HANA will solve it. SAS will be killing it. It's not. It's actually people. It's not about the models, right? Simple logistic regression can solve like 95% of your problems potentially, right? Or like K nearest neighbors, like really simplistic algorithms. So unless like you're really diving in or like really have an extensive network and hard problem, don't do AI. like really Google's spending billions on it. So if you are spending $1 million on it, it might not be the best solution there. It's not a process. So, but you have to put a process around it. If everybody will go like free running, like probably your return on investment would be not that good. And lastly, like let's quit with the business versus IT separation. It's 1990s really. IT is not a cost function anymore, and business is not solely profit driving function anymore. It's not. Like now IT is business and business is IT. End of story. Maybe sometimes you have different competencies, but it actually is. So is it like our investor comes to us like every 2 weeks and he said, I want to be educated on data. I'm like, he wants to know how many loans are there made in the online space, even though there is no public data available on it, right? So every week we feed him with a set of data that drives our strategy every week, really. Okay. So if you don't have the culture right there, can you change? So there can be, something can be done, but unless you like release a strategic objective view, it will be not. So you have to experiment. Not only A/B testing, changing the color of the button. On the marketing side, it's not really experimenting, really. You have to experiment, like create 2 process flows. Change people who do things. I don't know, try new algorithms, try new variables. Try solving something with human and algorithm separately. It might yield you better results, right? I don't know if you know, but Rossmann is really good at A/B testing. They have different pricing algorithms, but in different locations, even in Warsaw. Not only like, oh, Warsaw is different than, I don't know, Żyrardów, right? They A/B test the shit out of it. They test like, I don't know, 300, 400 SKUs that drive their business. So you can do it. And with the IT and business divide, as I said before, and if you don't have bad news, it probably means that you're missing it. So no bad news is worse news, actually. Something's always going wrong. Cool, so how did we do it at FinAi, right? I'm the CTO, and in the beginning we have 2 teams that have a common thing. It's infrastructure and the DevOps. There are typical, software development parts of the business, like product architecture, but there are typical analytics part, I don't know, like supporting marketing and sales, data model management. Like no DB person is creating our data model, it's actually the data science team, because that's all what would be used. And we share a lot of infrastructure. So for example, Adam is not a computer scientist by background. However, he has to step up his game to actually learn about Azure Data Lake, because otherwise he'll be really doing things slow, and I don't like slow. Cool, so after all this talking and buzzwords, do actually do anything. So we conducted a study on our prospective and current customers. We only have a blog, but actually we consider them customers. And we asked them about emotions and a lot of other stuff regarding credit underwriting process. So we have to create a taxonomy of emotions, so positive, negative, personal, impersonal, stuff like that. We received like over 1,000 responses, and the response was free flow, so it was not like drop down, I feel good, I feel bad, sort of bad, but it was like type in whatever you want. And so we clustered it a little bit, and actually we know what people feel now when they take up a loan. So Adam?
Okay, so regarding to what Luke said before, I'd like to mention that when I was leaving consulting, for you to see a difference between working in a fintech and in a startup, which is actually boring, and when before I was working in consulting, I was an intern there, and I came here, I came there, and I saw that everything is ready actually. Here you've got a database, so here you've got your email address, here's a CSV file, flat file, so just do a model, make a prediction, and send me this via email, and that's fine. It's all the job that you have to do with the data. Just building models and sending via emails. Here, when I joined the Luke team, everything had to be made from zero. You have to build the whole infrastructure and the whole data science know-how, and after that you can actually make a value in the business. So that's a huge advantage for me as for a person who's actually starting working in data science in Poland. So as Luke mentioned, we have made a study, just as I said before, from zero. So we have started from a study. We had a sample of almost over 1,000 people who were asked various questions about credit process itself. It was about, I don't know, 60 questions. And out of this 1,000 people, we have to be sure that these answers are actually true. So we came up with such questions that we might find very easily the people who are answering who are giving answers on similar questions. Alright, so we've got a question A and question B, which are actually quite similar in the semantic sense, and the answers are different, and they are answering contradictory. Contradictory, yes. And so out of this sample, we removed almost 10% of people, since the answers were not correct. And some of them stated that, for example, their installment was lower than, was actually greater, here's the mistake, was greater than their monthly income, and moreover, their interest rate was, for example, negative. So out of this sample, we removed about 100 people totally. And
obviously, there might be gray zone, something in Poland. So
yeah.
But they didn't have to say it.
Yes, and then we would like to start. Yeah, you can move on. Okay, so
this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Okay. Apart, as I said before, apart of the typical questions about credits in Poland, they were asked about the emotions. So it's something which was not actually studied in Poland. I have never seen such a survey before, where people were obliged to provide what they actually felt. We didn't give them to choose. They had to do it on their own.
And also, they were in Polish, so I don't know if you know, English is very well studied, but Polish, you have no libraries, very little support from algorithms.
Yeah, it's quite hard actually to, people here is Radość, but people are actually writing Radość, and despite the fact we were able to present you what it is actually here. And we build a bigger category than this. It's some kind of a taxonomy. So these words that you can see actually here on green are a subcategory of these positive euphoric feelings. And here, this is actually a word cloud which depicts the feelings on what actually people feel when they
were granted
law. Yes. So after the whole process, as you can see, this is mostly a joy, but also a relief, and some distinguishes which we have seen is that there's a difference between men and women in feelings, of course. Yeah, it's a true story. So men tends to share more joy than relief, and women seems to be more concerned about all the fact that they are going to have it ready. Yep, I'm going to hurry. And what is more important, when you would like to see it in a segment where people are borrowing money from the family, they also tend to feel embarrassment.
Yeah.
And there are two word clouds in the segment during the process. So during the process.
So you can see much more negative emotions.
Yeah, much more negative emotions, and
so banking is not a school and everything.
Yes, and the negative emotions are you can vividly see them in the family segment.
Can you guess which one? This is women and men. Which one is what?
Wait.
Who's on the top? Man or woman?
Much negative, yes. There's a lot of red.
A man is
there's almost 30% more red. Maybe it's not visualizing, but here, that's men. They're like chill, they don't feel much, neutral, relief. And women are much more concerned during the process, much more concerned. The amount of positive is approximately the same.
And more positivity at the age of 55 to 60.
So after we
nothing to lose.
We've done that, okay, some word clouds here, everybody can do it. What can you do about it? So now we can target marketing based on emotions.
Yeah, so what's next? You have the emotions which we have gained from the sample of 1,000 people, but we want more. I mean, we want the emotions from
millions.
For each of our customers. So what we can do actually is that we can build a model that will use all the data from the whole internet in Poland. So we have downloaded about 2 million posts that people actually
about
read.
finance.
Yeah, about finance, about credit scoring, about credit itself, and we analyze them, and we are able to find the words which are actually similar in the sense that the context around them is the same. So, for example, when you have a post with a word, for example, I don't know, bez, and another post with wychodzenia, they have the same context, which actually is here.
So this is one of the clusters, clearly about online loans. So we have identified it, and now we can put like superset on it the emotions, and we know how to target people that want loans without getting out of home.
Here,
and that's how we actually market our stuff.
About loans bez wychodzenia z domu, so without
so
coming out
you
from
can't
home.
see it really, but really we have like 30 emotional communicates that either resonate or not. Obviously we A/B test, but at least we those guys are different guys that are concerned about their credit worthiness. There's another cluster.
Yeah, here, so you can now model is built in a way that now you can provide another feeling that, for example, is not in our word cloud, and you will get the semantically similar in the sense of context feelings about credit.
Sure. So thanks for that. If you want to talk a little bit more.
Questions?
If somebody has a question, we've got about 30 seconds before we load the next presentation. So if there is a question from the audience, please ask now. The gentlemen are still here. Anybody would like to ask anything about the process, the company?
So, have you applied it with some commercial customer?
Yeah, we're already selling our right now we're just selling our blog, but we target different posts based on what people are talking about and what emotions we imply them about. So yeah, that's already in production. And when we'll build the final product, we'll be also doing the same thing. So yeah, already we have seven times cheaper leads than typical finance companies.
7 times?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.